What's up, YouTube? Southern Comic Geek coming to you with another haul video. Now, before we get into the haul, though it is small, before we get into the haul, go ahead and smash that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the bell notification so that you can know when content like this drops, and you can help that old YouTube algorithm for me. So appreciate that from the get-go. So yes, as I said in the description of this video, this is a small haul, but wanted to go on here for a number of reasons and go live. Always like going live, getting the chat interaction. And if you don't happen to catch me on the live, that is perfectly fine. We can talk about it later. Where is the Monopoly board? I decided to set up my computer in a different area of the room today, Perry. This is my comic book wall, and so this is another side of the office there. Mr. Gorell, what's going on? How are you in Jim Comics? Hopefully everything is going good. So yeah, so just over here on the other side of the wall here with a couple of announcements and that type of thing. What's going on, David Ewing? Hopefully everything is going well in your world. Don't mind the screaming kids in the background. They're not dying. So was able to get a couple of books in the mail today. So shout out to Two Brothers Comics. Dustin, as you might know, got a deal on a TMNT #2, and so he was in need of some money. This is not to make the deal happen. So he didn't want to rob his savings account, and so he decided, hey, I need to sell some books. So he sends me this message, which I knew was a loaded message from the get-go, and he says, hey, are you still in book buying mode? Okay, what do you want? So he said, yeah, I want to sell some of my books. Shiny, hello, how are you? First time I've seen you in a chat, so appreciate you stopping by. Be sure to smash that like button and the subscribe button if you hadn't already. But so I knew it was a loaded question when he asked it. So he sent me his stuff, and I said, what about this one or this one? He said, well, I'm not getting rid of this one. So we negotiated on the other one, and so here it is. It is Batman 171, a first appearance of the Silver Age appearance of the. It is a very low grade copy, but I didn't pay too terribly much for it. That's right, exactly right. You know, when they're not saying anything, it's too quiet, and then you think somebody's dead somewhere. What's going on? What's going on, Gray Man? How are you? Yeah, Gray Man was one of the winners of the 500 subscriber giveaway. Adrian Panda Awesome came on and gave away a slab, and he is heading to across the pond. But yeah, so what if I held it like that? Even better, right? Right? So yeah, it's nice little pink cover, low grade Riddler first appearance, and so you know I'm okay with it. It'll go on my wall. This right here is my Uncanny X-Men wall, starting at, I don't know if I can look in the mirror right. There we go, Uncanny X-Men 1, and then going across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth. And then some of the bigger appearances down there. Plan on having 1 through, I don't know, 25. So those are the first 12. Of course, I have them all, but I mean, getting them slabbed. And then this wall right here, it changes from time to time. This is currently the Rogue and Gambit wall. So you see the first couple of appearances of both of them here, and then all their kissy features, according, of course, the marriage issue and X-Men Gold. But yeah, so I just decided to change it up a little bit. One of those deals. Also got nothing compared to that. How often do I dust them? I change it out generally every month and a half, and so they end up getting dusted when I do that. And then that way it just keeps it not only dusted, but keeps it fresh, and I don't get tired of looking at something. But yeah, so Darkhawk #12. So putting a little run of Darkhawk together, and found this on the cheap online. I got another book, but I've already sold it, so to go in with the shipping there. So I did want to mention, for those of you who were not on the live stream Saturday, we had a good time, gave away some books, all of which on my side, I'm sure Adrian's going to mail yours this week, Gray Man, but all on my side were mailed out this morning. gave away an X-Men 11, as well as a New Mutants 98 facsimile or homage, because it's really not a perfect facsimile as they make them today. But this is the 600 subscriber giveaway gift, as well as this right here. It goes with it, which you can, if you're a pop collector, if you're a comic collector, either way, you should be happy. First appearance of Deadpool. Yeah, all of them except for like number 1 in the last 2 issues, which are a little more scarce. Okay, so you must have got a notification today. Okay, good. I knew he was working on it Saturday because he messaged me on it. So that is going to be the giveaway. Now, I did release details for the 600 subscriber giveaway in that 500 subscriber giveaway video. So if you just want to see what we did, because the setup is going to be kind of similar to the way the next one will be, or if you're just wanting the details, I'm here today to give you those details as well. Seeing as I always win, just go ahead, send it to you now. Well, it's funny because several of the same people keep winning mine. James Galagos is one of those. Gray Man has won before from me. And I was like, people are going to start thinking this really is a rigged wheel. And when I joke about it being a rig, they're going like, he's not joking. But in order to win, or be entered rather, to win the 600 subscriber giveaway, this is what you have to do. I'd like for you to go out on the YouTubes and find a comic book or pop-related channel that you haven't subscribed to. Subscribe to it. In one of their videos, all you have to do is put in the hashtag SCG sent me. And do it like that, like I just put into the chat. SCG sent me into their videos. Then come back over to any one of my videos, it doesn't matter, but any one of my videos, and put a reply to say, hey, I subbed up to so-and-so's channel. And that's it. That's all you got to do in order to win. And you got to be a subscriber to my channel too, but that went without saying. Rigged wheel for real. The only person's name I took off of that wheel was you. I mean, so it really isn't that rigged, right? So, subbed up, collecting. Okay, cool. So yeah, so there. It's funny because somebody sent me a deal, said they subbed up to Discovery Bay, and I'm thinking they were subbed up to me, but not Discovery Bay. Kind of strange, but yeah. So be a subscriber to me. Go to a comic or a pop related channel that you have not already gone to, or you're not already subbed up to. Put in that hashtag that you see in the chat in one of their comments or one of their videos, just so you know, they can know that it was done. Come back to any one of my videos, and any of the videos you can comment that you subscribe to so-and-so, and we'll be good. You'll be entered to win. And when I hit the 600 subscriber mark, we will put everybody the entered name on the wheel, and so it shall be. You do not have to be present to win that one, but you don't have to be a member of the continental United States or in the continental United States, but you do have to be 18 years or older. So yes, Gray Man could certainly actually win another one, because I know he's already entered. So if you haven't already entered, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and enter, and go ahead and put your name on the wheel, so that when that 600 happens, because you don't ever know. Currently I'm at 513, 513, I think, subs. So next thing you know, will be 600. And we'll be giving that one away, and then we'll announce where the next one goes. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? We'll try to get bigger and bigger, but that is going to be the giveaway. Also, if you're watching this live, or at least on the same date that it's released on October the 26th, I am going to be going live with Barbarian Kung Fu over on his channel, and we're going to be slinging some books on the cheap. So if you're in the market for books on the cheap, then there will be myself, Barbarian, as well as some other sellers that are going to be giving you those options out there. at 6 o'clock Central Time. So if you aren't doing anything, you're looking for some good bargain bin hunting. I know there are a lot of auctions out there. And but you can keep more than one tab open. I'm certainly able. I did just start collecting Biggie. They multiply faster than the gremlins do in a hurricane. Okay. Yeah. So I had gotten rid of all my collection in 2000 and got a few books here and there from like 06 on, and had basically when I moved into the new house, I had a little bit less than a full long box of comics. And so from there, it sprouted out to 6,500 comics. So those are not counting the ones I'm selling. I've got about 3 long boxes of that stuff, but this is just the stuff that's in my PC. So yes, they have multiplied fairly fast. And it's just one of those things. Now, I did get a notification too from CGC. Actually, I rather logged in and found out that my Tomb of Dracula number 10, as well as my Werewolf by Night 32, have both been graded and are shipping to me. I'm supposed to be getting on Wednesday. Strange, because I put my TMNT number 1 in there and a couple of other books, and they all go at the same time. Some are in scheduled to be graded. Those 2 I just mentioned have been graded, packaged up, and are headed back to me. And then the other ones are still just so unreceived. It's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. So you're shipping that, but whatever. And then my other 3 books, First Red Hood, that has the remark by Matt Wagner on there. The Archer and Armstrong, that has Barry Windsor Smith's and Bob Layton. Yeah, Bob Layton's signature, both on there. And then the Giant Size X-Men number 1, which I'm probably most excited about because it was graded a 3.5 and it has so many pressable defects. So I'm really hoping for a whole grade bump on that. So we shall see. But I asked the presser because he filed that one up under his account with CDS, and was still going to labeling. So pretty soon we will have some exciting news about that. Yeah, well, JB was talking about it on his Sunday morning chat yesterday. He said, yeah, I got to kind of focus my collecting. I said, focusing collecting or stopping collecting is like that 400-pound guy that says, hey, I'm fixing to go on a diet and go for a jog after I eat this last Twinkie. It don't never happen, okay? And so 6,500 is not a PC. It's a comic book store. I guess this is true. This is true because this is my wall, of course, and these are my, that is 1, 2, 3, 5 high comic book boxes. Of course, you see my pops up there at the top, but those are the boxes. I recently had to get some more, and I've got those stackable boxes so that I kind of stack them up and I don't have to take them all down, because when you're filing your new comics, it's always the one box on the bottom that you got books in. So I got those stackable ones. I don't know how long term they are, but it's definitely a viable alternative than just stacking and unstacking boxes over and over and over again. So there you go. And this was a small haul today, but they're typically not this small. So Mr. Gorell, what's going on, man? I thought you were going to get to selling some books, and then all of a sudden you just say, hey, I'm not going to sell no books, because I didn't think you were going to be selling tonight on Barbarian's channel. I guess you're just going to hoard them all, and that's okay too. Yeah, because I have a hard time getting rid of them myself for sure. This right here. Got this, and I don't have very many of these. I think Big Will gave this to me. Oh, you are on tonight. Okay, cool. Well, I'll see you in a few then. I don't have many of these because I just don't have a place to put them. With this right here, I can actually, switch them in and switch them out, which is a chore too. But I can switch them in and switch them out. But if you start putting up art prints, I just hate to put up art prints and never pull them out. And of course, you can't read them like you can a comic book. You can't read a slab either. Anyway, But I think this is Stuart Sager, which reminds me a lot of Bill Sienkiewicz. But I think Big Will put this in his box. I think he might have got it from maybe Spider-Man booth or something. So that was kind of cool. Don't really have a great place for it, but decided to put that there. Well, if you're on tonight, you're on. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what I was going to say too. I've got to get off as well. So, if you are in the market for comic books on the cheap, then be sure to check out Barbarian Kung Fu's channel in particular tonight, because I myself, as well as Mr. Gorell and others, will be selling and slinging some books, or at least trying to find some books on the cheap for you. It becomes more of a swap shop, because a lot of times the sellers will end up selling back and forth to each other, so it's really just a big swap shop a lot of times. But it's a big swap shop to the community, right? Because some people don't have LCSs, some people don't get the opportunity to visit other states. As I go to other states and pick up comic books, it's interesting to me, Batman Detective Comics might be really big in one area and not so big in another. I've even been to a comic book store, as weird as this might sound, that Valiant was a big thing. And I'm like, wow, I can find all kinds of Valiant comics here. I never find Valiant comics anywhere else except in the trash pile. So, and trust me, the newer Valiant, especially the Harbinger that they're releasing, sounds like it needs to go straight from the publisher to the trash pile. But that's another story on another day. Don't go. Yeah. Well, see, Biggie, you're like a comic book magnet, though. See, and like all these cool comic books just like come your way, and then we see you riding around, and that's what I want to do more of. Biggie, is ride around and film, kind of like what you do. Going to the shops, and I'd like to be able to interview some of these comic book parking. Oh. Well, yeah, but you do have a lot come your way too, so that's really cool. But yeah, so like to interview some of the owners of the shops and just kind of get their thoughts on the industry and where things have been, how long they've been doing it, and all that kind of stuff, and show you guys some of the shops I've been blessed to go in over the last year that I've been back into collecting, because I've been in, let's see, Texas, Louisiana, Tennessee, Arkansas, of course, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Salt Lake, so Utah. So I've been in 8 states over the last year collecting different comics from various comic book shops. I'm not supposed to buy comics, but I'm better Southern up. See if the Star Wars ones are right over there, and some right here too. I found this one. I didn't realize. I guess it was one of the ones that survived, and I bought. I didn't think it was going to be worth anything, and at the time, I didn't know who this guy named Adam Hughes was. But yeah, this is probably one of the few Adam Hughes comics that I have, and it's amazing that it's in the shape that it's in, because I actually read it. But Star Wars Legacy, for those of you who aren't familiar, my estimation was one of the best series that Dark Horse did with the Star Wars franchise when they had it. It was really, really good, and I was really surprised of how well this thing has held up. I was actually fixing to send this one to the presser just to be on the safe side before it went off to CGC or CBCS. But then I ended up wanting to do that Roy Thomas signing, so I said, I'm going to let that one go on the next round there. So you know how that goes. Oh, yeah, exactly. And I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere. Are you trying to make me Johnny Cash now? So anyways, yeah, you're right, Biggie. That's the fun part about it. It's the hunt. That's one of the deadly reasons why I'm trying not to get into hunting pops, because pops are so in so many more places than what comics are these days. Now that you got the Walmarts getting comics again, that does make it interesting to go in various Walmarts around to where you're at. But the pops are and Walgreens and CVS and other places like that. So it is interesting to. I know which one you're talking about. The guy is in a wheelchair. Um, so you're in Kentucky. Were you just down here visiting and going to that shop? Oh, you were thinking Hank Snow. Okay, well, I was thinking that was Johnny Cash. Maybe both of them sung it. Um, because I've been in that shop you're talking about. I think his mom actually owns that shop, and I actually bought some books out of there before. I know a guy who pulled Golden Age, early Batman, Wonder Woman out of the trash, and oh, dude, sweet. Yeah, I heard a story about a person with an Action Comics #1, or it was either Action 1 or Superman 1, and they found it in the wall. They were tearing the house down and remodeling, and they found it in the wall. So yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I've been to that same shop. The guy, there's something wrong with him. I don't know. He's got some whatever. He's in a wheelchair. He's not much to talk, but he's got a bunch of comics, and so I went through and rated his bins last year, maybe first of this year. Went down there. There's a couple other shops that are over there. We should quiz Southern on random Southern comic stores. Because okay. Well, there's a couple other stores around there that ain't that great. But yeah. Oh wow. Well, so and talking about that, that's like Dustin. When I went out to Georgia, he was like, "Hey, I'm going to show you some of my honey holes." I'm like, "Dude, I can Google these places just as well as you have." This is what I was thinking about in my mind. So we go to Back to Back Comics, which is in a flea market, and it's right down the street from a comic store that I had been to. But I didn't know there was any comic books in this flea. I mean, it's a whole comic book store inside the flea market, and they got some heat. That's his LCS. That's where he got that one right there. That first Riddler at. Yeah, that's the one I was talking about. The one there used to be one in Hattiesburg, which is about an hour and a half north of the coast. It is closed, so it's closed now. And then, but if you're on the coast, it's best to scoot on over to Mobile. They definitely have some nice comic book shops over there. Or scoot the other way and go to Covington, Louisiana, and they got some nice shops over there as well. So yeah, I found this one too. It survived the death trap, and if you'll notice, newsstand. That's right, newsstand. It's not quite as clean as that Legacy one is, but I bought this at a Barnes and Noble, I believe, and so that one's worth a little bit of money. And I got this one talking about the bin shop. The Cleavers normally sell this. This one's worth a little change. I bought this in a lot of Star Wars Episode 1 books for $5 a piece. And this thing is super clean. So that is nice. And of course, this right here, got this from, my mind just went blank. I'll think of his name in just a minute. But yeah, this is Batman, some Golden Age Batman. That's number 13. That's first edition. Nashville really has some good shops. And so I went up there, and Lady Fantastic and Shortbox Padawan kind of, gave me the lowdown of the best shops in that area to go to. And then I tried one more on top of that and was well pleased with all of them. Yeah. And be sure to when you go to Second and Charles's and stuff like that in the area as well. Yeah, that takes it up a whole new notch there, Biggie, for sure. And then of course, when you can find a Detective Comics number 400 for $1, and this is the first appearance of Man Bat. 15-cent goodness right there for $1. It sure made me holla. Yeah, that's definitely definitely the deal there. But yeah, and the guy thought, man, I'm getting this. I mean, it wasn't even in a boarding bag. I'm like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Yeah, it wasn't even in a boarding bag. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. 12 Golden Age Superman from first. Wow. Yeah, I mean, you can, if you know what you're looking for. Sometimes you get you really run into this online, but sometimes you get this in stores where people don't know what they have and they'll like overcharge for it. Uh, you know, they'll be trying to sell a comic that's a dollar bin comic for $100, thinking that they've got a gold mine just because it's a comic book. But if you know what you're looking for and know the right places, like you said, Biggie, you go to those places and find some sure enough bangers. But yeah, so those books that I just showed you right there are going to be going to the presser in the next go around, which I've been using Eric the comic presser, and use Burt Family's code to get 10% off or free shipping. It's about the same thing basically. So yeah, that's all I've got today, folks. Wanted to come on live quick, show you my stuff, let you know that I'll be going to do an auction in just a little bit, and then also to let you know what to do in order to enter to win the 600 subscriber giveaway. I do appreciate those of you who showed up, and for those of you who participated into the chat. But in either case, whether you watch this live on the rewind, I appreciate you. Just be sure to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm and hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so that you'll know when videos like this drop, and you can make the conscientious decision as to whether or not to watch the video now or later. And so everybody stay safe out there. And until next time, keep reading and keep collecting. Adios.